Hello guys, welcome to the Beast by Default show. To get started, I'd like to talk about last night. I bought a really expensive camera and two different kinds of mics, and it quickly turned into what does this button do and where does this cord go? And long story short, I think I'm missing a piece of equipment, and that's going to take some time to figure out. But in the meantime, moving right along, I'm the Beast, and I'll be your host. My hope is for these videos to reach a broader audience and teach you guys how to become Beast by default. So, just a quick, brief medical resume, and I'm only going to cover just some really like the basic highlights. I have two titanium rods in my right shoulder, and my collarbone had to be shaved so that it would sit in the joint correctly. I have 2 plates and 9 pins in my left ankle from a high speed, hard impact of breaking it in half on a roller derby track. And that is where I got my name. That's my roller derby name, the Beast. I have had Lyme disease 3 different times, including being bitten by the Lone Star tick, which causes a meat allergy. That subsided probably a month and a half into the meat allergy. I still don't really prefer red meat or a lot of meat. I kind of just stick to chicken and fish, and really more so fish. And this is Miss Ruth. Hi, say hi. I have also suffered several concussions, from car accidents to being hit by a car in a crosswalk. I bounced off a pavement, got up, and kept going. She was kind of freaked out by that. But that's what the Beast does. And I have already beaten cancer one time. I had stage 3 uterine cancer with clear cell features in 2014. And the treatment for that is a double gang of Taxol and carboplatin. And Taxol is it's derived from the bark of something called the Pacific yew tree. And I found out at my very first infusion that I was allergic, deathly, fatally allergic to the sap of the yew tree. I had anaphylactic shock, and basically it felt like my heart was stopping. I couldn't breathe, and they would crack open a jump box and come across the room with a barrel-sized needle of adrenaline to put into my IV line to counteract that anaphylactic shock. And I had to go through that every time I had an infusion. Which brings me to current. I was recently, just like 3 weeks ago, diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer with signet ring cell features, which is a little bit aggressive, not a very good diagnosis. And it was also confirmed that I have Lynch syndrome. So a lot of cancers can be attributed to diet, smoking, drinking, birth control, spam, who knows? I don't know. But when you have Lynch syndrome, that is something that is a genetic component. So it's actually in your DNA to get these cancers, and more rapidly and more aggressively than maybe your other counterparts. So there's that to take into consideration and look forward to. But, but, I don't quit and I don't give up. And here's the part where you start winning at life. I have a formula for overcoming any adversity in my life, be it, emotional or medical, whatever, really. And I'm going to give it to you. First, you're going to need a dream. And I'm not talking about like, ooh, I want like a nice cushy savings in the next 3 months. I'm talking about the kind of dream that when you go to sleep at night, sends a little tingle up your spine when you're thinking about it. Something that you want really badly. I don't care how big it is, how small it is, how ridiculous it is. I mean, fine, if you want a nice cushy savings, if that's your dream in 3 months, that's your dream. But it needs to be something that in the quiet moments when you are down and out is going to put some fuel under you to keep going. Next, you're going to need a why. Why do you want to live? And I know that sounds intense. For cancer patients, it's a very viable question and it's a very real need in the formula. But even in any adversity, you need a why. Why are you going to keep going each day when you could give up? So, a lot of people find it easier to care more about others than themselves. And that's fine. Your mother, your sister, your brother, your cousins, your aunties. If it's just yourself, then I commend you. If you're like, I just love me and I want to live, then that's cool. That's great. We love it. We like it. The United Nations of Law says check, yes. But my why is my kid. I love her very much. I'm not afraid of anything in the entire world, but if I had to leave her behind, I would be really sad. Oh yeah, I don't want to think about it. Alright, so you got your dream, your why. Now you're going to need faith. And if you have a religion, then good. That's good. That's great. But I'm not talking about, oh, I got my faith check. I pray every day check. Or, whatever. I go to the mosque. Or, we have Sabbath and Hala. No, cancel all of that. When I say faith, I mean you need a 1-800 direct line to your source. You need to have a faith in yourself. It's almost like a cocky arrogance and belief in your own brand. And the reason for that is, unfortunately, when really hard things happen in your life, sometimes, and not all the time, but sometimes you're going to wake up alone and you're going to have to face them alone. And that doesn't just, I mean, cancer especially, doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter how much money you have or how well loved you are. And there's just going to be those times where you're going to be alone. And additionally, it doesn't matter how many people you have in your corner, they can't fight the battles for you. So you're going to need faith that there's something on the other end of the spectrum better than what you're going through. Okay? Don't let it shake ya. So you got your dream, your why, your faith. Last but not least, and my fucking favorite, fight. If you don't have fight, the rest of it really doesn't do you any good. I can remember being in the waiting rooms at the hospital and the cancer center and seeing people that either they just got tired of fighting or they never had any to begin with. And I wanted to loan them some of mine so bad. But summons your inner fight. Summons your inner fight. I mean, get mad. Get angry. Whatever it takes. Smack yourself if you have to. And if you think that's crazy, then ask a friend to do it. Because I guarantee you, that will make you a little bit mad. Alright. So that's my formula. It has not failed me yet. And I don't think it ever will. I have my dream, which is to maybe one day get back on the roller derby track and do a little skating. I have my why, which is my beautiful child that I don't want to leave behind in any situation. And I have my faith in myself. Oh, trust and believe. Any situation that comes my way, I don't bat an eyelash at it. I'm just like, oh yeah. I got diagnosed with cancer a second time. And I'm like, so what? So what? Because I've got my formula. I know what's going to happen. And I know I'm going to come out on the other side. So, in closing, I'm going to leave you all with a little challenge. Half of becoming beast by default is how you think about things. And I had lost my job on a Friday and been diagnosed with colon cancer stage 3 on a Monday and had a surgery to cut it out like a week later. So if I can think positively, you can too. And immediately when all those things happened in that succession, I was like, Vic, I need money or a miracle or both right now. So no, I'm not going to ask you to start eating Tide Pods. The name of the challenge is Money or Miracle. Every day, you're going to look into your life and you're going to find some money or a miracle. I don't care if it was like a couple of bucks you found in a pair of pants you hadn't been wearing in a while, or a coat, or somebody sent you some money in a card, or you thought you overpaid for something but you didn't, whatever. Start looking for money in your life and miracle. You woke up today, it's a miracle. You still have a job today, it's a miracle. You didn't end up killing your coworker at the end of the week, it's a miracle. I want you guys to tag me if you feel so inclined. I'm going to include the link to my Facebook in the information below. I would like to see your money or your miracles, because the more positive energy that you put into your life, the more you're going to get back. I promise you that. And I would also like to thank my sponsor. She will not let me publicly announce her yet because she's in some business transactions that won't allow for that. But the very expensive camera that I need to learn how to use, the mics, down to the chairs and the curtains in this new room, which you guys aren't going to see right now because we're only on this little tiny screen. But once we get everything up and running, you're going to like it. I promise. None of this would be possible without her. So I would like to say thank you. You know who you are. Such a little angel. I love you. Also, last but not least, do not forget to like this video, please, and, and subscribe. And if you know anyone who's going through cancer, please tell them to subscribe as well, because there's going to be many, many more to come. And, oh yeah, become a patron, because anybody and everybody who becomes a patron at the end of November gets a free black t-shirt, because black is my favorite color, that says Beast by default. I will hand deliver it to you if you live in Charlottesville. If you don't, you're going to have to pay for shipping and handling. Sorry. I don't have that much monies. Alright, folks. That's it. I'm out. Until next time, stay Beast by default.